This podcast is certified fresh. Freshmediaworks.com.
Hey everybody, this one will probably be a lot of background noise. I'm on a country road that, you know how when a road is recently paved over, recovered, it's still rough. Well, on the main thoroughfares, it gets smoothed out pretty fast by a lot of traffic. But when you're talking country roads, they don't get as much traffic, so it can take years to get that road quieter. and oftentimes, it gets quiet about the time the potholes start showing up. But anyway, long intro, but hey, welcome back to the Marketing Drive. I'm Chris Doelle, and this is the show where I use my commute time to talk about one actionable marketing idea, tip, trick, tidbit, something that can help you be a better marketer, make more sales, get more clients. At the end of the day, that's what you want, right? So again, forgive the background noise in this one, but that's part of the beauty of this show is you get the real. You get me driving to a client. As I mentioned, right now I'm driving on a back road in Texas to go to a small town nearby and talk to their economic development group. Really looking forward to the meeting, but that's not the subject today. The subject today is AI. Ooh, scary, right? Everybody either loves AI or hates AI. And, I love it. Obviously, I'm a nerd. I'm a techie. Anytime there's a new technology, I go play with it, figure it out, and see if it's something that can help. Well, I'm here to tell you, AI can not only help, it's a game changer. Yes, Skynet will take over the world eventually. But for now, you still got to pay your mortgage, right? So take advantage of it. I talk to my clients and tell them about the things we're doing with AI. And some of them say, oh, that's cool, and tell me about some things they discovered. Others say, oh, that's cool, but you can tell they're a little wary. And others are like, no, I'm not interested in AI. I don't want to learn something new. I have enough to do with my business. I have things I need to do. I can't be off learning AI. That goes back to probably one of the most important things you ever learn as a business owner. If it's not your passion, if it's not your expertise, outsource it. So how do you do that when it comes to marketing? Well, you get with companies who use AI. Make sure that your marketing company, if they're out there selling you Facebook ads, or they're out there, selling you spots on television, inquire, investigate, ask them, how are you using AI? And let them give you the explanation. And it better make sense. They better be clear on what they're doing with AI. And if they're not going to tell you, that tells you something else, because they're being secretive. As you know from years of listening to me, I have no secret. I tell every potential client, existing client, everything. Here's how you do it step by step. I will give you the keys to the castle. Why would I do that? Well, as you know, again, if you've been listening a long time, because it's hard. Yes, knowledge is power, but I believe knowledge should be free. So I share it freely. I tell you everything you should do, and hope that somewhere along the line, the law of reciprocity, or whatever you want to call it, will kick in, and you'll say, oh yeah, I should refer him to the business. Or maybe, yeah, there's some pieces of it that I don't want to do. Who are they going to think of? Of course, the guy who gives them everything and doesn't charge them anything, right? So back to AI. How am I using AI? Well, obviously ChatGPT is excellent. It's wonderful from the standpoint of ideas. I caution you about using it to write things, proposals, email intros, things like that. Don't let it write the final copy. Let it suggest the copy, then go in there and put it into your words. At the end of the day, it's a computer. So make sure that it uses things correctly. You know, early on in the AI days, I was having it do a test by giving me a sports write-up of two imaginary teams, a football game, different eras. And I said, I can't remember the teams, like the 1936 Army Knights versus the 2005 University of Texas Longhorns. I said, write the game write-up. Well, it did a great job of writing a sports report, but the names were all wrong. You know, it told me one team, their record for the year was 160-0. So it got the numbers wrong, and it told me some of the players that were on this team that really weren't on that team. They maybe played for that team, but it was 20 years earlier they played for that team. So it's scraping data and putting it together. The data is where you need to make sure it's correct. The wording it does a wonderful job of. But that's just one example of ChatGPT. But how do I use it for things like podcasting? Show notes are a great example. You know, just a few short years ago, there are people who spent thousands paying somebody to listen to their show, write all the time codes of who said what when, and pulling out URLs and pulling out books that people mentioned and putting links in the show notes so that it made it easier for the listeners to go follow up with whatever was in this show. Well, now you can use AI. In 2 minutes, it does it. Again, go back, double check some things, make sure the links are correct, make sure the titles are the right ones, but just double check the results. So that alone, you're talking minutes versus thousands of dollars. Well, that's a pretty smart trade. And so you say, okay, I don't want to teach AI how to do show notes. Okay, you deal with a company that does know how to do it. And then you're also saying, well, what about that poor person, he or she who had the job and fed their family by doing show notes for 5 or 6 podcasts? Well, if that person's smart, they will figure out how to use the technology. And instead of servicing 5 or 6 a month, they can do 5 or 600 at a much lower cost, less work for them, and higher profit. And until it's getting quieter, I'm slowing down for a turn. So yeah, AI is here to stay. You should be using it. You should find a way to use it. If you don't know a way to use it, reach out to people like me or other people you know who are doing AI, but not doing it in a smarmy. I never know how to use that word, smarmy way. Because you see a lot of people selling AI stuff right now, but it feels very used car to me. It feels like the guy with the overcoat and a whole bunch of watches. Hey, come here, I got some AI. You want to check this out? It's a great deal. So be careful who you talk to about AI, but talk to somebody. Maybe what you'll learn is one little tool that you can use that you don't have to use an AI master to do. It's just some simple thing you can add to your routine that improves your workflow. Anyway, I'm rambling all over about AI. I'll let you guys go for now. And until next time, do not stick your head in the sand and play ostrich about AI. Get involved with it, or at least get involved with somebody who is involved with it. And again, check your vendors. Ask how they're using it. Make sure they're using it. If they're not, you're falling behind. Until next time, hey, keep it real.
You've been listening to The Marketing Drive with Chris Doelle. To learn more about how Chris can help your company get more customers, call 713-269-4620 or visit us on the web at freshmediaworks.com.
I want to thank you again for tuning into the show, and I have a favor to ask you. Would you please head over to iTunes? I'll put a link in the show notes. and rate and review this show. It means so much to us. It'll help us get this out to more people. Thank you so much for your rating and your review.